Hi guys, Richard here. So this is just a video to kind of go through the, a lot of people have been asking around career pathways, especially around the whole six-figure thing. Personally, I think the whole six-figure thing is, you don't need to think about it because it will come your way as long as you climb the corporate ladder. So you rather think about it as climbing the career path than thinking about how much money can I make along the way. Because in the end, how much money you can make along the way shouldn't be your determination of climbing the ladder. You should be trying to figure out, how do I climb the ladder from, let's say, like a coordinator level to a specialist level to a manager level, etc. So I'm gonna go through the career pathway just briefly to kind of show you like how it kind of works, especially in marketing, especially if you just started, if you're a student and you might not know how the marketing structure looks like. So I found this really good thing here. Let's see if I can zoom in slightly. So I like how they label it as staff, managers, and experts, directors, and leadership. I don't agree with managers and experts because sometimes generally staff and experts get clumped together rather than manager and experts. But this gives you a good idea of what a typical marketing organization looks like. So if you look at this, oh, there you go, Jack Mavin. I'm giving a free shout out for them. So you can see here that in the beginning, by the way, not all of these are correct in my opinion, but generally in the beginning, you're going to start off with your marketing coordinators and marketing assistants. And then you're eventually going to work your way to a specialist. So generally, if you're looking at a coordinator to a specialist, normally it will take to around, I'd say, 1 to 3 years. Sometimes you're even hitting 5 years marks. Now, that's pretty common, especially if you're working, the larger the organization, the longer it is. Because a specialist at a, let's say, a 1,000 employee company versus a specialist in a 10,000 employee company is a lot different. But as you get bigger, it matters less. Whilst if you're small, for example, if you're a 10-person company and a specialist, generally that's a lot of a weaker type of like, you're kind of lower versus someone who's at a corporate level specialist. It's just how it is because you got to look at the company size. So make sure you keep in mind on that because a manager at a startup could be a specialist at a corporate. Just remember that. Could be, though. Not necessarily. So generally afterwards, the reason why I'm saying this is missing something, sometimes companies, especially big companies, have a middle between a specialist and a senior, in a manager, and that is a senior specialist. Now, senior specialists tend to have around 5 years experience. And generally, if you're a senior specialist, you're pretty much at the mark of being a manager or marketing manager. And then you can see a lot of managers here. So you've got brand manager, you've got product marketing managers, you've got demand generation marketing managers, and blah, 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 blah. And so that just goes on. So generally, you have senior specialists, but I'd say a manager, marketing manager level, you're looking at generally 5+ years of experience. And generally, that's where you kind of start hitting the close to six-figure mark. So any of these, titles here, generally hitting the six-figure mark depending on what industry you're in. Generally, the more, I guess, higher-paying industries, you could say your tech industries, sciences like bioscience and stuff. Bioscience, it's not going to fit there. Financial and stuff like that. So obviously these, there's a reason why these industries are a bit more high paid. They can be more technical. They're just in generally the more high paying industries anyway. So if you're looking for experience in an industry where you can earn a decent amount of money, then these are definitely ones you should look at. So there's a really good tool out there. If you just go to GitLab salaries, so GitLab is they're like a DevOps tool that competes with GitHub, which is owned by Microsoft, and they actually have all their salaries listed out, which is amazing. Like it's a pretty cool tool. So let's say I want to see how much an account-based marketing manager. So obviously that level is a marketing manager, and let's say I am. So learning in the role means you're probably just at the minimum 5+ years mark. So you're around your beginning of a marketing manager level. And let's put in United States, and let's put an area. We'll do New York because San Francisco salaries can be quite inflated. And see, you're pretty much hitting your six-figure salary. And this is just your annual base, not including your other stuff like your bonuses, potentially your stocks and stuff. And you can see that the San Fran market is already at 130K, right? And that's already at like the 6-figure mark. So you don't really need to think about 6 figures, to be honest, because as you're working in your career, you pretty much get there, to be honest. Let's see if they have any specialist marketing. Let's see what else they have here. So they don't really have anything else here, to be honest. It's just maybe like a web developer or a designer. Let's see. So a designer, yep, you're still hitting around the whole, around like close fair. Obviously, if you're learning in a role, if I'm growing in a role, then it goes up. But as you can see, hitting that marketing manager role tends to get you that specific like 6-figure amount if you really want to hit that amount. But honestly, you shouldn't really think about hitting 6 figures. You should be thinking about, how do I climb the corporate ladder? Like, how do I climb that ladder if I want to work in corporate? So obviously, if you're working in startups, it's a completely different thing. Generally, they'll trade cash for stocks, so you're kind of trading off one or the other, but you're hoping your stocks are worth a lot more later down the track, right? So this is just a quick video to kind of go through that 6-figure kind of thing. Hopefully this helps, especially if you're new to marketing and you don't know how the career path looks like. I'll post this chart in the description. It's by Track Map. I don't know who. I think that's a marketing influencer. But yeah, hopefully they don't mind me just borrowing the kind of material and just kind of go over it. At least I gave a shout out. So yeah, I hope this helps. Leave a comment if you have any other questions, and I'll see you next time.